Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Superhero Gains. So in my last video, I actually asked about people subscribing to help me reach 100 subscribers, and finally did it. 101 subscribers as of today. So yeah, I've made it. I might write a book on success and, how to follow your dreams and all that crap. But not right now. Right now, we are going to talk about some new footage, or not new footage, new scenes that were released on the Infinity War Blu-ray and digital release. But anyway, on with the video. So Avengers Infinity War is being released, I believe, maybe tomorrow. It's some point in this week. I haven't really checked the exact date, but they've released some scenes online, some behind the scenes footage, some deleted scenes, some unedited scenes without the CG, and it's really interesting because we got to see that one where Star-Lord and Drax were arguing after Gamora had been taken by Thanos, and it kind of bridged the gap between them getting from nowhere to Titan. But that's not the one I want to talk about today. The one I want to talk about today is a particular scene where Tony is facing with Thanos, and we saw this in the movie where Thanos knows who Stark is. But a deleted version of this scene shows us a reason why Thanos actually knew who Stark was, and possibly a connection with the Soul Stone, which is something that I find very interesting because the Soul Stone was pretty cool. There was almost a mini subplot in the film based around finding it, but we didn't really get to see its powers. We got to see the Soul World as such, but we didn't get to see how Thanos could use it to his advantage. So with the other stones, we've seen plenty of their usage. So going through them, Tesseract, we saw that used in Avengers. Captain America, the first Avenger, we even got to see that. And multiple times with Thanos using it to teleport through space. Pretty obvious. The Time Stone, we got to see that in Doctor Strange and in Infinity War as well. The Mind Stone, obviously used to create Ultron, control people's minds by Loki. The Reality Stone, we didn't get to see that used so much in its first introduction in Thor the Dark World, but again, in Infinity War, Thanos really hammered usage of that home, turning Drax into blocks and Mantis into spaghetti or spirals or something like that. And what's the other stone? I've completely forgotten now. The Power Stone. Yeah, the Power Stone, we got to see, obviously that is used for raw power purposes. That's pretty much what it does. But the Soul Stone, we didn't really get to see Thanos use it at all. Now, I'm hoping we get to see more usage of it in Avengers 4, and we probably will, since it's going to be very much tied to the Soul World that Gamora appears to be trapped in, and the rest of the characters who disintegrated, they might also be there as well. But what we saw in this scene...
Stark. How do you know my name? I know your soul. It is much like mine, cursed with knowledge. My only curse is you.
With Tony and Thanos confronting each other was, as he said, Thanos could see Tony's soul, and that's how he knew who Stark was. And originally, a lot of people had thought that the reason Thanos knew who Tony was just because, he was that smart, he knew his enemies, he made sure that he'd researched anyone who could possibly come up against him, just to help him defeat them. He studied who he was going to be fighting. And that might be true as well. He may have known some of the Avengers. Obviously, he'd heard feedback from Loki getting defeated during the Battle of New York. But now we can see that it might actually be because of the Soul Stone. And this is interesting because it seems to work in a similar way that you'd expect the Mind Stone to work. Obviously, the Mind Stone, we've seen it being used to control people's minds. But we haven't actually seen anyone, as far as I know, we haven't seen anyone use it to read people's minds yet. But the Soul Stone, it appears to allow Thanos to know his enemies, know their soul. And one of the reasons I think this is so interesting is because how this could tie into Avengers 4. Now that Thanos has assembled the gauntlet, he is far more powerful than he was at the start of Avengers Infinity War. And although we know that Avengers 4 is going to partly focus on the quantum realm and possibly time travel, multiversal travel, it will be interesting to see how Thanos can now use his godlike powers to completely toy with the Avengers. With all the Power Stones he's got, he's omnipotent, but with the Soul Stone, from what it looks like, he now knows his enemies inside out. He knows them better than they know themselves. And it will be really interesting to see how he can use that against them, and almost like psychological warfare. Tony even said that Thanos had been in his head for the last 6 years since the Battle of New York, and now with the powers of the Soul Stone, it seems like even more likely that that's going to be something that could really drive Tony's story throughout the next film. But those are my thoughts on this deleted scene and how it could tie into Avengers 4. Have you seen the full clip? What other deleted scenes have you seen? Let me know what your thoughts of this are, and if you think my theory for how this could tie into Avengers 4 is correct. But again, if you're new to Superhero Gains, then hit the subscribe button, leave a like if you think I've deserved it, and leave all your comments and thoughts down below. But thanks again for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one.